Hello and welcome back to Investing for Generations, your channel for high quality stock research for long-term value investor. And recently the EV stocks just came back a lot, and the question is this a start and the bubble will burst? I will try to answer this question in this video. At least I want to give you my opinion after the EV stocks crashed already. When you follow me for a while, you know I'm very bearish for the EV sector. I think we have a big bubble here, and so I made some videos about Workhorse, Nikola Scam, also about Tesla. So I just wanted to make an update video about that because it looks like maybe the bubble burst and the market come back a little bit to rationality. So when we look at the charts, and here with Tesla over the last 5 years, this is an incredible run, 2000% up. And now just lately, over the last few weeks, they lost 25%, which is a lot, but still Tesla have a market capitalization of $626 billion and an incredible PE ratio of over 1,000. And also when we look at the Chinese high flyer in the EV sector, NIO, then we see over the last year an incredible upside of 1,589%. But then also lately, over the last few weeks, NIO lost almost a third of its worth, of its value, of its market value, and that of course is a lot. But still, also NIO have a market capitalization of $65 billion. That's quite a lot for a company which is barely profitable. And also then the scam of Nikola, which went up a lot, over 400% in a very short term, and then just since then goes down and down and down, 77%. And of course a lot is about trust and just a scam that there's not even a vehicle. And then finally, my most beloved stock, Workhorse, and the stock I followed the most over quite a time. Also here we see the EV craziness just took place over the last year, a rise of 1,315% in the peak. And then of course lately, when it was clear that they don't get the USPS contract, then it just fall. And then lately, when it was clear that they don't get the USPS contract, the high debated USPS contract, then the stock just declined 63%. And we see maybe because of different reasons, but overall we see there is a kind of a crash in the EV sector. And the question is it really a crash? Is it the end of the bubble? Or is it just a dip? And therefore we should take a look at the money flow. And when we look at Cathie Wood's Ark Invest, then we see that they have a record outflow lately in February. And Cathie Wood is highly invested in Tesla, also in Workhorse, in the EV sector overall. And here we see just a spike and how big the outflow was. To be fair, lately this week they also have an inflow again, a very high inflow, and so we will see how this will work out. But this is really interesting and incredible. And of course with this high outflows, Cathie Wood and Ark have to sell a lot of their positions in Tesla, in Workhorse, and so on. And that of course we also see when we look at the chart of Ark Innovation. Then we just see that also here over the last year it rose 182% to the peak, and then since then it just fall almost 20%. And so maybe this great story is over, or it's just a correction and a dip and maybe a big chance to buy. Who knows? If you really believe in the story of the EV sector or at Ark at all, then it's maybe a great chance to buy. Who knows? For the EV sector, it's really difficult to value these companies. Normally I just try to calculate an intrinsic value and then buy way under this intrinsic value. And with AV stocks, which are mainly not even make money right now or just barely make money, this is really, really difficult. So sometimes, especially with these growth stocks, you have to have another mindset and just try to imagine what have to happen to have a good return for your investment. And therefore, sometimes it just helps to calculate the market capitalization and imagine what it have to be, for example, in 10 years to have a good return. And so for Tesla, for example, which have a market capitalization of 626 billion right now, and therefore 3 times more already than Toyota, the biggest automobile company, the highest producer of automobiles in the world, which is just insane. But to have a return of 12% over the next 10 years, this would mean Tesla had to have market capitalization in 10 years of $1.9 trillion. I don't know if this is possible or not. It's just unlikely. And this is just necessary for a return of 12%. I'm not sure if I look at all the Tesla investors and when I listen to the Tesla investors, if they would be really happy with a return of 12% per year. I'm not sure about that. But the 12% is my expected return in my intrinsic value calculations, and so I took it also here. For me, it's very, very unlikely that this go to happen. And also for NIO, which have a market capitalization right now of 64 billion and is number 7 by market capitalization of the largest automakers in the world, and therefore in front of BMW, Volvo, Hyundai, Honda, Ford, even that, just imagine that. Also here, if you want to have a return of 12% over the next 10 years, NIO have to have a market capitalization in 10 years of $200 billion. And $200 billion would be the same like Toyota right now. I would say more possible than the 1.9 trillion of Tesla. At least I can imagine that a little bit better, but still unlikely. And of course, with NIO, you also on top, you have the risk of the Chinese market, and you never know what the communists will do. If you invest in a China company, politics always will play a big, big role. And so this is just another uncertain risk. And then, of course, when you calculate that, then you have to decide for yourself, do you think this is likely? Do you really believe in these stories? Or is not maybe just the valuation, even after the crash now, just way too high? Of course, nobody knows. I don't know if this way or that way is right, if it is maybe just a dip and a great chance to buy in, or is it just the start of the end? Who knows? I don't know, and it's very simple for me. If I don't know, I can't invest. Very simple with all my investments. Or as Charlie Munger said, he doesn't know what's worse, Tesla at 1 trillion, now right now after the crash just 626 billion, or Bitcoin at 50,000. Nothing more to say about that. Still, after the crash, it's incredible high valuations for electric vehicle builders, which made barely money, or most of them even just burn money. For me, I just stick with my very boring, stable, profitable businesses. You have here a look into my real money North American portfolio, which I started at the 2nd of December of 2019. And I'm very happy with these businesses. All of them are very stable. The only really speculative stock here is Air Canada. You can see here, I just bought into them because I think it's the most stable airline in the world. I also made a video about that. As of every other company in my portfolio, you find a deeper analysis where I go through the financial numbers, the management, calculate the intrinsic value, and then explain when and why I bought into these great companies. And with this portfolio, I have a performance of 54.24% since the start at the 2nd of December 2019. and so outperformance to the S&P 500 of almost 32% over the same time span. And I'm very happy about that. I don't need this high risk of the very hyped EV stocks or before the marijuana stocks or whatever is new. And also, when I look into the EV sector and also when I look at the videos at YouTube, then you just see that every other week there is another company just the new Tesla, the new whatever. So here, just for example, the channel of Jack Spencer, very entertaining guy. He really pushes workhorse over weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Now just shift to CCIV. This seems like the new workhorse or the new Neo or the new Tesla or whatever is new. And this is like every week, every month, something new hype. And all of that is not for me. I'm too boring for that. I'm too risk averse. And so I'm very happy to be a long term value investor without all of this hype. And as long as I can have a performance like that with this very boring, stable, profitable businesses over the long term, I'm super, super happy. And if you like this idea and if you like this way, then please subscribe to my channel and give me a big thumbs up. This helps me, this helps my motivation, and of course also the YouTube algorithm. So thanks for watching. And just a short reminder, you will get on this channel every week some stock analysis and also every weekend the insight to my real money portfolio with every update and action I did. So high transparency. And as I said, if you like this idea and if you like this way, just subscribe and follow me. So see you then. Take care. Bye bye.